I'm going to start off with a question. Do you know what that means?
A question.
Question. Okay. Your mom drops you off to Monmouth Mall. Right? You're psyched. You know exactly where you want to go. You want to go to Auntie Anne's. You want to go to Forever 21. You want to go to H&M. You want to go to Haagen-Dazs. Okay? Claire's. Right? Awesome. So you're walking around the mall and you get to your Forever 21 and you walk around in the shop and you have your bags. And then you spot the Auntie Anne's. Well, maybe that was when I was young. We used to go to Auntie Anne's and get pretzels before everyone cared about eating kosher. Yeah, it was not a kosher place. We always get cinnamon sugar pretzels. You know, we were young and dumb. Anyway, then you want to find H&M and you have no clue where you are. Let's just say. I think we all really know always where we are. But let's just say you have no clue where you are. So you go to that giant thing, right? That giant thing, directory. It says, right? Yeah. Directory. Okay, so you're looking at the directory and you see, oh, H&M is right there. Right? So how are you going to find your way? What do you have to look for? If you're in Forever 21 and you want to go to H&M, what do you have to look for? Call it out. So you have to find H&M and you have to find where you are. What's going to tell you on that map where you are?
You are here?
You are here. You have to find that star that says you are here. Because unless you know where you are, you can't get anywhere. How does it help you to see that H&M is on the second floor on the number 325? I have no clue where I am on the map. I can't get anywhere if I don't know where I am. Okay, so we're going to hold on to that idea, that question of where you are, and we're going to revisit a little bit later. Okay, I'm going to give out a source sheet. If there's not enough, you're going to share. Actually, I don't want to.
Oh, I get
Scaria? No, I made it myself. All right, now. Hi. No worries. Okay. Who knows the name of the Megillah that we read on Tish'a BeAb? Call it out. Ayeka. What is Megillah Ayeka? Who wrote it? What's it about? Yeah.
I know what it's about. It's about how Hashem basically left us when we were in college.
So is it happy or sad? Very sad. Ayeka. Who wrote it? Bonus points. Ayeka was written by Rabbi. How did you know that?
I think Labaton told us actually.
Very good. Ezra was written by a Navi who was the most hated Navi. Hold on, these aren't highlighted.
Like they thought he was Meshuzah when he said the Beit HaMikdash was going to be destroyed.
His name was Yirmiyahu. Yirmiyahu was one of the three major Nevi'im who spoke about the destruction. For 40 years, he would walk around to Bnei Israel and telling them, Yerushalayim will be destroyed. You will be taken out of here. You will go into Galut. Yerushalayim will be like a desert. It will be burned. It will be empty. People will be starving. And they thought he was crazy. And they kept partying and turning up the music to ignore him. Nobody wanted to hear what Yirmiyahu had to say. In all of his time being a Navi, he wrote this very, very sad Megillah. It has 5 prakim. And this Megillah is called Ayeka. I wrote the first pasuk of it right here. It's a little bit poetic. It's hard to read. There are tons and tons of books written about just a short Megillah. Ayeka yasheva badad, ha'ir rabati am, hayita ka'amana, rabati b'goyim, sarat b'medinot, hayita lemas. Ayeka, we're going to talk about what that means in a minute. Yasheva badad, ha'ir rabati am. Yerushalayim, he's talking about the city of Yerushalayim, is sitting badad, alone. Sitting alone. It's like an almanah, it's like a widow. Someone, chas v'shalom, whose husband passed away. She has nobody to love her. She's alone. Rabati b'goyim, sarati b'medinot, hayita lamas. I was the king. Yerushalayim was the king or the queen of all of the land. It was the most joyous and royal, and it had the most, riches. And it was a full, beautiful city, and now it is sitting alone. It's a very, very depressing Megillah to read. There's very, very few signs of hope, barely anything. What does that mean?
Where are you? No, wait.
Ayeka. What does it sound like?
How? Why?
First word.
How?
Ayeka sounds like a very poetic way of saying how. How what? How could this happen? How did it get here? So in the line on top of the word Ayeka, pasuk one, I want you to write a title. So the title is going to be something like, how did we get here? How did we let this happen? That's really, you could share with people because it's not so much writing. Guys, if you're done writing, then pass it to someone behind you, okay? Okay? How did we get here? Ayeka. Right? We should never know, but sometimes in our lives we can look at someone in such a position. Let's say you don't see someone for a few years, and then you see them, and you see that they're just not in the right place, and they cut their hair short, and they have 20 earrings, and a tattoo, and blue hair, and you're like, what? How'd you get here? Last time I knew you, you were like, so goody good, and you were so like a book reader, and now how'd you get here? Right? So that question, how are you? That question, Ayeka, is not really asking you like a specific question for you to answer. Here, come here. It's more of a rhetorical question, right? It's saying, what happened to you? How did you get here? Are there extra source sheets? No. Okay, we're going to share. Okay? We're right here. So now, what's very interesting about this word Ayeka is if you take away the nekudot, you see another word. If you take away the nekudot, if you look at the next pasuk that I brought you, what does the next pasuk say? No. Yes, keep going. You know what? Lenore, read it.
וישמעו את קול אדוני אלוהים מתהלך בגן לרוח היום ויתחבר האדם ואשתו לפני אדוני אלוהים בתוך עץ הגן ויקרא אדוני אלוהים אל האדם ויאמר לו
Ayeka. First of all, what's the story about? What were those pasukim about? Well, I tell you it's in Bereshit. What words did we see that could help us figure out what the story's about? Adam. Where is he?
He's in Gan Eden.
He's in Gan Eden. We saw Hagan. What just happened?
He's trying to hide. He killed Hevel and he's trying to hide from
He didn't kill Hevel yet. He did something else before that. Very good. Lenore saw the word Tish'a BeAb, which means that he's hiding. He's hiding with Chava. What did he do?
Oh, he ate from the tree.
There we go. He ate from the tree. He had just eaten from the tree and recognizes, oh no, I'm naked now. I must have done something wrong, something's weird, something different, I'm going to hide. HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to him, finds him and says, Ayeka. What does that mean? It means, where are you?
Oh, I remember this.
It looks like the word Ayeka. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's the same word, so we're going to connect it in a second. But first of all, if God is looking right at you, Carol, where are you? You're right here. I'm looking at you. I'm talking to you.
Meaning like, where is your spiritual
Don't
being?
try to hide and because I know I can see.
Okay, so there's a few things happening here when God is looking at Adam and saying, where are you? He's saying, first of all, what are you doing trying to hide from me? Second of all, he's saying, Carolson, where are you? As a human being that allowed you to get to this point where you're already sinning and already trying to hide from me out of shame from what you did.
So we realize that he's one else that's trying to hide.
Okay, so clearly there's a recognition that something went wrong. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is challenging Adam to recognize what he did wrong. But he poses the question differently. Instead of saying, how did you get here, like we saw with Ayeka, he's saying Ayeka, which means, where are you? So you can write that as the title. But my point of bringing this is to show you, where are you? Right? And then you could say, God asks Adam, where are you? Now what does where are you, what does that have to do with how did you get here?
Where's your spiritual being?
Okay, but before you go there, think practically, think about them all. How'd you get here? You know?
Well, I went through here.
Well, I don't have any, I only picked at 20, I never thought I would have so many people come who could share. Hold on, who is sitting next to each other, who could share with someone that can give them a free, thank you, Ginger. Okay, great. Okay. You could look on or just listen, then I could put you on at a different time. You're standing in a mall, and you want to find H&M. But first you have to tell yourself, well, how did I get here? Oh, I entered, right? I made a left, I made a right, I went straight, then I made a left again.
Where you are?
Well,
It does, but
it might say where you are, but in places where you don't have a map that says you are here, you have to figure out, how did I get here? So the girl with the blue hair and the 2,700 earrings, how'd you get here? Oh, well, I was doing really well and something bad happened and I reacted badly to it, so I started, being upset, and then I made a friend and she wasn't a great influence, and you can backtrack and you can get back those steps, right? And work out how you got here. But how you got here is it's connected to where are you? I can't know where I am without also knowing how I got there. It's not going to happen. So when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is asking Adam, where are you? He's asking Adam also to say, what happened to you to allow you to get here? And when Yirmiyahu is using this word Echa in his Megillah, he's not just saying, oh, woe is me, how did we get here? But he's also asking a question to the people. How did you guys get here? Where Yerushalayim is burnt, empty, desolate, no one's in there except blood and bones and roadkill. How did we get there? Yerushalayim used to be the shining glory of the whole Middle East. It had palaces. It had the Beit HaMikdash, gold, nechoshet, chelet, all these beautiful materials you learn about. How did you get to this place? So the question of Ayeka is a two-sided question. It's a question that we have to answer on a national level as a Jewish people. How did we get here? Where are we? What do we look like? And it's also a question that we have to answer on an individual level. So the individual level we're going to work on a little bit after. And we're going to each look at ourselves and make a little map of our own selves. Let's keep going. So I have the section called Before and After. And before and after, I bring you only two very, very, very short sources. There are tons of sources.
Why does it say Mark Twain?
Because Mark Twain is the English piece. I was combining the Devarim is the Hebrew piece, and Mark Twain is the English piece underneath it. All right? Yes. Yirmiyahu was a Navi who spoke about the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash. And he told the people what they were doing wrong. He said, if you do X, Y, Z that you continue to do, God is going to destroy the temple. You're going to be homeless. You're not going to stay here. And he points out things that we should never know. Avodah Zarah, I can't even say that. Not treating people with justice, making fun of poor people instead of helping them, using them and not paying them, just horrible ways of treating human beings. That's what Yirmiyahu talks about. And he says if this keeps going, you're going to have, and he paints these poetic, horrible pictures of what it's going to look like. But before even Yirmiyahu spoke, who's speaking in the Sefer Devarim? Who's speaking in Sefer Devarim? Moshe. Moshe tells Bnei Yisrael. Moshe tells Bnei Yisrael. And that's what a lot of Devarim is he's telling us, if you don't keep the Torah and mitzvot, Vayichar Av Hashem, right? What we say in Shema. But he says more than just that piece of what we say in Shema. The following Pesukim are from what Moshe tells us. They're a little difficult to understand. Does anybody want to read these Pesukim?
Hurry if nobody wants to read no more.
Kayaya.
כופי במלח שרפה כל ארצה, לא תזרע ולא תצמיא בה, ולא יעלה בה כל עשב כמהפכת סדום ועמורה אדמה, וספויים אשר הפך אדוני באפו ובחמתו.
Pause. Can anyone explain a piece of what they just read, of what Yael just read? Gofrit v'melach means sulfur, ashes, and salt. Serefa kol haaretz. What does that mean? Burnt. Lo tizra v'lo tatzmiach v'lo ya'aleh ba kol esev kemehapechet sedom v'amora. What is lo tizra v'lo tatzmiach? Nothing is going to grow. Nothing is going to come out of the ground. The ground is going to be burnt like Sedom and Amorah. We know what Sedom and Amorah are, right? The city is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu hafach because of all of the evil that they were doing. Keep going. ואמרו
כל הגויים על מה עשה אדוני ככה לארץ הזאת ומר קורי האף הגדול הזה.
Yeah.
ואמרו על אשר עזבו את בית אדוני אלוהי אבותם אשר כרת עמם והוציאו אותם מארץ מצרים.
Very, very good. Thank you, Yael. Okay? What happens here? Ve'amru kol hagoyim. This doesn't just mean other people, it means us too. Al me asa Hashem kacha la'aretz hazot. God, why are you doing this to our land? Burning its scorching it so nothing could grow, so it's this burnt, horrible land with ashes. What does it mean by Yichad Af, Hashem? Angry. Why are you so angry? Why do you have such a heavy anger? Yes. Vayichad Af is your nostrils flare. So when you see in cartoons, they get mad, like, right? And then nostrils get...
He comes out of their ears.
Exactly. So it's that same type of imagery. Vayichad Af. Okay? And what's HaKadosh Baruch Hu going to answer? Ve'amru. Al asher azvu et berit Adonai Elohei avotam. Asher karat imam behosiot han Eretz Yisrael. You know why? You know why your gorgeous land that you fought to get in, that you conquered through the whole book of Yehoshua, that you divided, that you settled in, that you sowed the ground and reaped the things and brought your bikurim and built the Beit HaMikdash. You know why all of that's gone? You didn't keep the Bidi? You didn't keep the Bidi. This is Moshe talking in Devarim before it even happens. Moshe is saying, if you guys are going to obey your God, your Yerushalayim that you didn't even see yet, that you didn't even step foot into yet, is going to become scorched earth. It's going to become burnt like Sodom and Amorah. Does this come true? This comes true. And it doesn't only come true in the time of the temple. It comes true way after that. For many, many years, while different people are in and out of Eretz Yisrael, and different people are sitting there, but they don't care about it like we do. They're just there to hang out. They're not going to give it the tender loving care that it needs. For years, Eretz Yisrael is considered a swampland where nothing can grow. It looks like a desert. It's Hazit. Mark Twain, he was an author. He wrote a very famous book, Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. He also traveled the world. And when he went to Eretz Yisrael, he wrote down the following words in English of what he saw. What? Yeah?
But why did you describe it as a desolate...
Wait, how? Who wants to read the English?
Me.
Shout it.
A desolate country whose soil is rich enough but is giving over wholly to weeds, a silent, mournful expanse, a desolation. We never saw a human being on the whole route, hardly a tree or a shrub anywhere. Even the olive tree and the cactus, those best friends of a worthless soil, had almost deserted it.
How long ago was this? What?
I'll look it up.
Who was Mark Twain?
All right, Kat. Hold on. I'm going to read that again with a little more oomph. A desolate country. What does desolate mean?
Oh my gosh, wait.
Empty. Carol, hold on to it. Empty. Deserted. A desolate country whose soil is rich enough, but is given over wholly to weeds. Maybe it has the potential to grow something, but there's nothing there except weeds. Anybody know what weeds are? Weeds are the ugly plants that stick out of your concrete bricks in your backyard that your father wants to rip down or spray because they're so annoying and they get in your way.
He was born in 1835 and died in 1910, so this is probably like 1800s, 1900s.
Right, so over 100
That's
years
before
ago.
we reclaimed these.
Of course, Carol, but my point is we don't know Israel that looks like this. We don't know Israel that looks
We know it's
deserted.
the most beautiful.
Wait, hold that thought. Hold that thought, okay? A silent, mournful expanse. An expanse is this wide open area. It's silent and mournful. It's sad. You know when you go somewhere, I feel like this when I come to Deal. So I'm not insulting anyone, but when I come to Deal in the middle of the winter,
Oh my god, worst.
where is everyone? It looks so
You know where the tumbleweed goes?
The tumbleweed flying. Right, that's what he's saying Israel looks like. He says, we never saw a human being on the whole route. The whole area that he traveled, he never saw a human being. Hardly a tree or shrub anywhere. Even the olive tree and the cactus, he says, which don't need a lot of water, had almost deserted the country. There's not even a cactus. Right? A cactus, which is the plant of the desert, it's so deserted, there's not even a cactus. So imagine just 100 years ago, our Eretz Yisrael being described this way.
I can't imagine.
It's crazy to us because we only see the opposite of this, and that's what we're going to talk about in 1 minute. We only ever see the beautiful opposite of this horrible, horrible description of Eretz Yisrael.
It's when the people came back and reclaimed it.
So what happens? Even before Eretz Yisrael is considered a state. Oh wait, let's Let's title this. What would you title these two sources that we had just read?
Israel is deserted and not.
I love it. Israel as a desert. Israel deserted. Israel is lonely and deserted. That's just a really good word. Okay? That's it. There was nothing there. Israel as an empty, sad place. This is the before. This is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying. This is yours. This is yours. Right? This is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu warned us about in our Hebrew source of Devarim, and we actually see it happen. We see different people come in and out of the land. No one cares about it. It's desolate. There's weeds everywhere. There's swamps. It was known as a swampland. Have any of you seen a swamp? Think of Shrek.
I just know the game.
Shrek lives in a swamp. Okay? That's the kind of imagery you should have. Gross, dirty, nothing's there.
Full of water or no water at all?
Full of, if it's water, it's muddy. It's not fresh, clean water. So Mark Twain is seeing this very real reality. But what happens? What happens? We have all of these nevuot of destruction, but we also have nevuot of what's called nechama. Who knows what the word nechama means? The word nechama means comfort. We have 3 weeks from Yud Zayin Tammuz until Tish'a BeAb in which we read different nevuot of destruction. And then 7 weeks, Shiva Nechamta, in which we read the nevuot of nechama, of comfort, of all the beauty that these Nevi'im say is going to come out of Eretz Yisrael once we return to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, once we start keeping His Torah and keeping the Berit. I brought one of the prophecies over here from a Navi called Amos, who you're never going to learn about in school. Now there are hundreds of Pesukim that speak about all the beauty that's going to come out. I brought you only a small piece. Who wants to read? Karen.
הנה ימים באים, נאום אדוני, וניגש קודש בקוצר ודורק ענבים ומשה הזרה, והטיפו ההרים עסיס וכל הגבעות תתמוגניה.
Very hard, very poetic nevuah. I'll read to you the English translation and explain it, and then you'll read the next line. Hold on. The first line says, a time is coming, God says. No, I'm reading it. You don't have it. I'm explaining the Hebrew. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, a time is coming when the plowman will meet the reaper. These are 2 people who work the farmer. And the one who will harvest the grapes is going to meet the guy who's holding the bag of seeds. So it means all these people who work the land are all going to be out on the fields together because there's going to be some land to work. There's going to be things coming out of the ground. When the mountains shall drip wine and all the hills will wave with grain. Isn't that beautiful? Imagine a mountain so rich with grapes that it's dripping off. The wine is dripping off of the mountain. Or the field so full with grain that when it's windy it looks like the grains are what? Waving back and forth. Right? Look at that imagery of the fruitfulness and how much bounty compared to the sulfur and the burnt land that we saw in the other Pesukim. Carol, read the next Pasuk.
ושבתי את שבות עמי ישראל ובנו ערים נשמות וישבו ונטעו כרמים ושתו את יינם ועשו גנות ואכלו את פריהם.
That's a little easier. Who could tell me what that one said?
It means hold on, I can't.
ושבתי את שבות עמי ישראל.
Bnei Israel will come back.
Great, I'll bring Bnei Israel back. Very good. ובנו ערים נשמות וישבו. They're going to build cities. ונטעו כרמים. What's a kerem?
A vineyard.
Very good. They're going to build vineyards. ושתו את ינם.
Drink
Drink the wine of the vineyards. ועשו גנות. What's a gun?
It's a
A garden.
Garden.
ואכלו את פריהם. Like, I have the chills.
Oh, why do
How much, one second, Carol. How much more beautiful is that prophecy from the one that we read before that was so depressing?
In Barkai, why do they call it gone though?
Gone?
Yeah.
Like kindergarten?
Yeah, like before kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
I know they. Wait, no. Kindergarten is Methinam, which is Methinam.
No, same idea.
Straight.
So they're like little flowers. Really.
Kindergarten is when
Yes, okay, so we see this beautiful prophecy of Amos. And like I said, this is only 2 measly Pesukim from some of the hundreds of Pesukim that discuss. We used to have to memorize them in high school. Yesusu midbar v'tzia v'tagel araba. That the midbar, oh, I wish I had a video here. I'm going to make you picture in your mind. Raise your hand quietly if you saw Moana.
Everyone saw Moana.
And you know the whole movie by heart.
Carol. Good, put your hands down. Listen to me. They return the heart of Tefiti. Listen to me. Taka is this black, burnt thing. What happens the minute they return the heart?
She's just beautiful.
Do you remember that scene in your head?
Yes.
All of the flowers and the colors start popping up, right? And all of a sudden the color is restored. And I love that scene. That's what Tish'a BeAb means when we read it in our Siddur.
Isn't that pretty much what happened after we reclaimed Israel?
So yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. Is this imagery of everything set, it's also a little bit like in Trolls when the Bergens decide to be happy at the end, and it goes from all those muddy colors to all those Lenore, to all those bright, shiny colors, that idea of it coming back to life. So that's the image that these Nevi'im are bringing us.
Oh yeah, when she said she's black, and then when she
They're all colorful.
best movie ever.
It's a great movie, but it also has a great message. But I just want you to get that idea of things coming back to life. Okay, so what should we title this little small section? Okay, right, good. Israel coming back to life, or prophecies of Nechama, right? Or what will happen once we start keeping Torah? Any way you want to word it. Coming back to life. Prophecies of Nechama. Now, Kat, so we just titled that Amos piece.
Oh wait, right.
We titled it Prophecies of Nechama.
Right.
Okay, let's turn the page. Now this is Israel today.
It's beautiful.
In color, it was much prettier, but we work with what we get. The top leftmost picture I want to talk about for a minute, because this was really a scene. I couldn't get a picture of it because it was on Shabbat. I was in Israel for the last 2 weeks. I just rolled off the plane Friday morning. Very good, okay? We were walking through the old city of Yerushalayim on Shabbat. We had a tour. And this area called the Cardo, on the top left, you see those broken columns?
Yeah.
That was a marketplace that during the time of the second Beit HaMikdash, people would sell animals and they would sell all different things over there so that those traveling to Yerushalayim to bring korbanot could come shop. And they could come buy the animals that they need to bring as a korban. This was a whole marketplace of hustling, bustling people. Now obviously, temple gets destroyed. The Cardo, which was the name of this area, this marketplace, gets destroyed. And only after many years, they undig it and they find the columns that were there, where they had all the booths, and you can even keep walking underneath. No, I got it from Google. It was Shabbat, I couldn't take pictures. You can even keep walking through, and there's a beautiful mural that's painted trying to depict exactly what it would look like. Different people selling different merchandise and honey and things, kind of like the shuk. But when you look at it now, sure, there's a whole Yerushalayim around it, but you're looking at the ruins of a Beit HaMikdash. But on Shabbat, when we had a tour, and we were walking through the old city, we saw a group of boys and girls, Jewish boys and girls on some type of trip, all sitting on the floor of the Cardo, singing all these different Hebrew songs, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. And every one of us said, what an image. They're sitting in the ruins of the Beit HaMikdash, singing. Right. When we're in a place that was once destruction, but we're bringing it life. And we're saying, you thought you destroyed us, but look, we're back here. I'm here, freely. I'm allowed to sit here. No one's arresting me. I'm allowed to sing to God. I'm allowed to practice my Judaism here.
You're really not.
No. We are.
But the Arabs are gonna come and kill you.
No, they're not. These kids were sitting and singing in a ruin. In a ruin. And they were singing songs to God. And that's what Israel is today. Israel today is not the actual desert and desolation that our prophets once foresaw. But instead, where there was once a ruin and destruction, there are now children singing. Where there was once swamps, what are there on the right? Vineyards. If you ever drove around Israel and instead of sitting on your AirPods, actually looked outside the window, you see rows and rows and rows of grapes of vineyards. Oh, forget it. When you go to the area where there's date trees, it looks like it's fake.
We went to the Nahal Kedumim, actually.
Okay? Have any of you ever seen these things in Israel? How many of you have been to Israel? Raise your hand.
I've been there once for a year.
Beautiful. Beautiful. What else? Towns of produce. Look at those two pictures. They're so much cooler when they're colorful. Hold on, Lenore. The most classic I went to Israel picture that you're going to find on Snapchat, classic, is the shuk. When somebody takes a picture of the colorful candy or all the colorful
My mom brought
wine.
a ton of chocolate.
Yes, she did. Okay? You know that picture that I'm talking about. Just seeing all the hundreds of colors.
Oh, wow.
Guys, settle down. I want to get to our activity. The mountains and mountains of produce that is being grown in Eretz Yisrael. It's something nobody would have believed 100 years ago when they saw muddy swamps with weeds coming out of it. It's almost an impossibility. And every Yom Yerushalayim and every Yom HaTzmaut, we talk about these things, at least in Bar Chaya and I hope in other schools, right? About how things that once seemed impossible, Israel is now producing more than other countries in the world with more technology and with bigger land.
Well, and that all evolved from Korban Bet HaMikdash.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Isn't that
I have questions. We're only supposed to be in Galut for 40 years, and what
Who
happened?
said that?
I thought we were supposed to.
You're in a desert.
In the desert, not in Galut.
Wait, are you
We're in
saying
Galut, one second, Carol. We're in Galut until we merit to come back. But what I'm trying to say here is that we started. When we go to Israel, we don't see what the prophets were saying was going to be when we were the worst people ever. We don't see the desert and the burnt land. We see the opposite. We see this gorgeousness. We see fruit. Why do we go to Israel? To eat? We eat everything. They have the best food in Israel. We're not starving there. They have the best food. Everything is fresh. They make it there. The goat's milk and the cheeses and the limonim and every salad is so fattening and delicious. Everything.
now I'm craving the pumpkin hot chocolate my mom brought home.
Okay, sorry guys. Sorry about that. No, not now. My point is that
Filling me up on the hot chocolate.
we have to know what's happening now in Israel today. We're not in a state of desertion. We're not in a state where Israel is completely empty and swampy. The opposite. We're in a place where Eretz Yisrael is slowly making its way back to be the Eretz Yisrael that is promised. What's left to take us there? Before I get there, 10 minutes. Okay, thank you. First, I want you to answer this question if you have a pen. It says, have you ever been to Israel and seen a vineyard, a farm, or an orchard? What about the shuk? Have you picked fruits or vegetables? Write about your experience and how it connects to the Nebuah in Amos. So again, the Nebuah in Amos says, I'm going to bring Bnei Yisrael back. They're going to grow vineyards. The mountains are going to be dripping with wine. The grain is going to be waving at you. I want to know if you've ever been to Israel and picked avocados with leket. Did any of you do that?
I forgot what I did, but I did my essay.
Okay, so tell me about something that you did regarding farming or food. If you've ever even gone to the shuk and seen all the gorgeous fruit, just write down one little memory, one little piece, because my point here is to make you a witness of what is going on in Eretz Yisrael. Where if somebody ever were to say, oh, Israel's a desert, you could say, nuh-uh, I was there. I picked the avocados off the floor, and they were bigger than any avocado that you'll ever
the
see.
shuk is like that thing that throws it like.
Right, the shuk is like that giant marketplace. It's also called Nachanei Yehuda. It's in Jerusalem. And it's where everyone's hustling and bustling and running around and there's screaming and it's so fun. It's so fun.
I didn't want to mom with my name.
Okay.
But does this mean that the Korban Bet HaMikdash was a good thing? Is this what came
So
out?
Carol is asking, was the Korban of the Bet HaMikdash a good thing? And I'm going to say to Carol, at the time it definitely was not. And I don't think that anyone would have wished for the Korban of the Bet HaMikdash. But the Korban was inevitable because we refused to listen. Does that mean that we're going to be in a state of Korban forever? Absolutely not. The whole point is that the lower you get pushed down, the higher you have to rise up. The more that God is going to challenge you, the more we have to step up to the challenge. So if we're people who got kicked out of their land and and we're homeless and wandering, eventually we have to earn the right to come back home.
Like you use it to make it like you use a bad opportunity, like a bad fight or something, to make yourself a better person. Like,
Exactly, like you get grounded because you misused your phone.
you know,
Right?
to misuse your phone again.
Exactly, and now then you can enjoy hopefully using your phone safely and appropriately in the right times. Right? So that's what we did out of the Churban. Now, we don't have tons of time, so maybe this exercise you can finish at home. I actually wanted to make a prototype to show you. We spoke about nationally where we are as Eretz Yisrael. Baruch Hashem, we're in a beautiful place, but unfortunately, we're not close to the end. I was walking around Jerusalem on Shabbat, and you know what? There were cars. There were people sitting in restaurants.
Everyone's so religious there.
There were people sitting in restaurants.
Maybe they're not Jewish.
Maybe they're not Jewish. Some of them probably are. Even if they're not Jewish, it's Jerusalem. Why is this happening here? It's the last place it should happen. All I'm saying is we're not 100% there. We're not at a place where the Beit HaMikdash would have been in the middle of it, and it would have been just, you go to some smaller settlements, and you can walk in the street fully. You don't even have to look anyway. There's not a car in sight. The entire Yishuv is keeping Shabbat. That's not a question. Then there are other places where you'll have a mixed breed. If you go to Tel Aviv, Shabbat's not even a thing.
Yeah.
Right? So we have room for improvement. Yeah.
Didn't they on like Friday and Israel became like the only Jewish state or something?
Yes. So Israel was just recognized, I've had this tape when I'm passing around. Israel was recognized as a Jewish state. I don't know the exact details of it, but it was a category, a title that we never had before. We called it that, but it was never recognized as that, and now it is. So it's a beautiful thing. What I'm calling this is a character map. We spoke about national identity, and now I want to talk about your individual identity. Because like we started off this class, we can't know where we're going unless we know where we are. Very good. We need to have that "you are here" star on our mall directory to figure out how to get to H&M. Now, what you're all going to do is, if you don't have a pen, I'll let you just use a highlighter to write for now. You're going to put your name in the middle circle. I'm going to put my name right in the middle
I don't
circle.
have paper.
Okay. Cross my name out. Okay? You're going to put your name in the middle circle. Now, in each one of the circles that come out of it, you're going to choose a different value from Torah. So I'll give you an example of what I was going to do. I was going to put Doris in the middle, over here, and then I was going to put, let's say, learning Torah. Okay? In that bubble. And out of that bubble, I'm going to draw other bubbles. Lines and bubbles. I'm going to say, okay, I learn Torah once a week. I listen to a class once a week on my AirPods. But I don't really read the Perashah every week, and that kills me. I always wanted to read the Perashah to know what's up. So I would write in the other bubble, I don't read the Perashah every week, and I would like to. Now what I would do is then pick a highlighter. One highlighter is going to be for the things that I do well and want to continue. And another highlighter would be for the things I want to improve on. So that would be out of that bubble. Don't worry about that. Let's say the next bubble, I would write relationships. One line would be, I talk to my sisters every day. We have the best relationship. And the next line would be, I need to have more patience with my daughter. And the next line would be, I need to have more patience with my mother. Right? So I would highlight 2 of those in yellow and 1 of those in pink. The point of this is for you to see where you are. So let's start thinking of different values that you might want to add. So I said learning Torah, and I said relationships, having good relationships. What else does Torah want from us? What else does God want from us? Yeah. You have an idea? To do good stuff. To be more specific. Give me a mitzvah.
I don't have a paper.
Okay. You can, hold on.
You can use mine after.
Okay. Thank you, Sheffi. Yeah.
Going to shul.
Going to shul. Okay, let's say you go to shul once out of every 4 weeks. Right? So you're going to write that down and say, this is something I want to continue or something I want to improve on. Yeah.
It's a little bit like the relationships, except like with friends.
Okay, so you can write friendships. You can do that too. Yeah.
3:45. Just as a class at 3:45.
Yeah. You told me I had 5 minutes.
Whose class?
Carol.
Who's
We're in the middle of mine now. The next box, you can, let's say, do chesed. You can put tzedakah. You can put treating poor people nicely. I want you to fill these out with different values. And out of the different values, I want you to be able to look at your own self. How about tefillah? Every one of you could put down tefillah. Let's all put tefillah in a bubble. Put tefillah in a bubble. Now, out of that, I want you to pull out the things you do that could need improvement and the things you do that you're proud of yourself. So let's say you say Birkot HaShachar every day. Put that in a bubble. You draw the bubble. But let's say you don't always get to say the Amidah.
So I eat I pray every day.
Okay, but let's say you don't pray on Shabbos. Or let's say you don't do Netilat Yadayim in the morning. Things you want to improve on. By creating this map and choosing different colors of highlighters, which you could do at home because I guess I ran out of time, you can put this up anywhere and look at it and say, okay, the pink things are the ones I want to keep doing. Let's read them. Did I do them this week? You can do this every Shabbat. Just look at it, glance at it. How did I do with my relationships? How did I do with my tzedakah? How did I do with this? Great. How did I do with improving the other things? Maybe good, maybe not so good. That's what Shabbat is all about. By the way, that's a separate class. But I do want you to create this map for yourself so you have a better idea of Ayeka. Where are you? I want you to know where you are. A very big part of my class in general is about looking at yourself and being able to say, I am this person, I do these things. But so often we just wake up and go through life every day and we don't really think twice about it. But looking at yourself and evaluating your own actions is a huge part of growing up and becoming B'not Mitzvah, which I'm sure all of you or most of you will be this coming year. Beautiful. I love this one. So we have learning Torah, Chesed, Tefillah, and Tzedakah. We have Tefillah over here, learning Torah, Chesed, Tzedakah, friendships and relationships. Beautiful. Guys, you can take another minute, but I want to say thank you all for coming. And I hope that next time we go to Eretz Yisrael, we really can appreciate all the stuff that has come out of it.